overrun. The violence say it's the order of the day. Poor folk, no job. Listen to the snow job of the politician, not helping the condition. The fall of the city, nowhere to find pity. Sad face in the place, middle of a rat race. In a world with no surprises, and the death toll rises. People get mugged, legally drugged by the pharmaceutical man in a cubicle. They upset, paranoid, Percocet, opioid, working, unemployed, said to be destroyed. The fall of state at such a rapid rate. No need to debate. The time is getting late. In the world ain't no surprises as the death toll rises. COVID-19, world under quarantine. Death angel on the scene, read it in a magazine. Alcohol, nicotine, jacking up my routine. Draws made of gasoline, packing like sardine. Back up the truck, so many out of luck. Get the body bags and treat them like rags. Quite a shock, but no surprises as the death toll rises. London, Moscow, throw 'em in the hoosegow. China, Italy, can't do diddly. The world's on fire, muck in the mire. Damn the economy, look at Deuteronomy. Can't call a truce, pandemic on the loose. America's a dump, you can't blame it on Trump. Won't be no big surprises when the death toll rises. I said, did you hear what I said? The death toll. London, Moscow, throw 'em in the hoosegow. China, Italy, can't do diddly. The world's on fire, the muck in the mire. Damn the economy, look at Deuteronomy. Can't call a truce, pandemic on the loose. America's a dump, can't blame it on Trump. Won't be no big surprises when the death toll rises. The death toll rises. The death toll rises. The death, 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 the death. COVID-19, world under quarantine. Death angel on the scene, read it in a magazine. Alcohol, nicotine, jacking up my routine. Draws made of gasoline, packing like sardine. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. Get the body bags. Time to rise and get up and walk toward your grave. The death toll. Get up! Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it may be there. Welcome to Geechee Land Journey. This is a weekly broadcast I decided to do regarding current events and politics, sports, entertainment going on in American society. Well, to say we were on last week, I did some editing because it was kind of a half musical tribute to Jerry Butler, and then the other part of it was my political stuff. So I already released the Jerry Butler tribute. Hope you'll go see that. Go like this broadcast right now and share it, and subscribe, of course. But today is going to be all about the current events in America. And do invite you, I just uploaded about 9 hours ago my musical tribute to Jerry Butler. I appreciate it if you go. I recorded that live. Yesterday I recorded it, and actually I was able to upload it. So go check that out. But big thing from yesterday is, and I was able to watch a good portion, maybe half at least, of the State of the Union address that was delivered by President Donald J. Trump. He's been in office about 6 weeks. So usually in January or February, there's a tradition that the president addresses the joint session of Congress, and President Donald J. Trump did that yesterday. And I'm going to be covering that now, give my viewpoint on that. But I'd like to invite you, and I have already put the link. I'm going to show it now on the screen. If you'd like to join the broadcast today, you don't have to come on camera, but at least, you have your audio on, and you can make any comments you would like about yesterday, or just, you can go back to the election, and just anything. Like, again, it can be current events, sports, entertainment. Doesn't have to be politics. But I'd like to start out just myself to go over and give my short synopsis, a review of what I saw yesterday. And I like to start with the fact that if you're a black person, a black American, you should be greatly ashamed of the behavior of our black so-called
representatives in Congress yesterday. I mean, they totally lived up or lived down to what Malcolm X, my brother Malcolm X, said of them 60 some years ago. And let me just say, this is a 60-year anniversary that just happened last month of his assassination, and I heard nothing about it. I'm going to probably do a segment on that myself because I think that's a travesty that none of the major black vloggers covered the fact that this is a 60-year anniversary. He was murdered in 1965, so this is exactly 60 years later. Nobody covered that. But anyway, Malcolm X called most of our politicians puppets and clowns. And we saw the full Negro clown and Negro puppet, Negro buffoon behavior yesterday in the State of the Union address. We had a clown, several clowns. One clown, of course, Jasmine Crockett, who I call a Jasmine Crockabull. She's loud, very not giving a flattering look to our black women. She's not someone I would want representing me. She's uninformed. She has so much hatred for Trump. And you never see out of her or any of these other Negro clowns, there's 40 or 50 of them that's in the Congress, you never see them get up and show out for anything to the direct benefit of black people. You didn't see them get up for reparations. You know, you didn't see them get up for against the crime bill, something to counteract Joe Biden's evil crime bill that he put out. You didn't see any demonstration like that. And number one clown yesterday, Al Green. And I know Al Green sure hates that this guy from Texas has his same name. Representative Al Green of Texas. Did you see this, Negro? While the president was speaking, he stood up and shouted at the president and disrupted the proceedings. And rightfully so, he was thrown out. The Speaker of the House tried to give him a chance to, sit back down, and not disrupt the meeting. But he had the nerve, he stood up. And I want you to go, I wish I had a clip of it. I would have showed it in this broadcast, but for some reason, my YouTube and my software is not letting me download that. I guess I could have put it on another screen and showed it that way, but I'm not prepared to do that. But anyway, this fool Al Green, the epitome of Negro clown, he looked like he trying to be a wannabe pimp or wannabe Mr. Biggs or something, going around with a cane. I don't know if he got a wolf head on the cane like Barnabas Collins or what, but he's an absolute clown. And then this shows you again that Donald Trump is showing you how to be a man. He's showing you how to be a masculine man in governance. Remember somebody shouted out when Obama was in the office and said, "You lie"? If that had to been me, that bastard would have been thrown out sergeant in arms. He would have been marched out of there. Just like this buffoon Negro clown, Al Green was marched out yesterday, properly and rightfully so. He ought to be ashamed. I mean, his Negroes cannot represent me. And that was a national, worldwide shame. And he did this, and I can't even tell you why he did it. You can go do the research for yourself. But that was very disrespectful of my president and the office of the president and the Congress. So they had to waste 4 or 5 minutes dealing with this Negro clown buffoonery. And I can tell you now, as I cover this State of the Union, I believe that we have witnessed, if those of you who saw that proceedings yesterday, and we'll see it on replay, you witnessed the memorial service, final memorial service of the Democratic Party and the Democrats. I call them the demon rats. With what their behavior that they displayed yesterday, I think they are officially finished as a political organization. I think we have 40 or 50 members of the so-called Black Caucus. I call them the Black Carcass because they're a dead body. Carcass, not caucus. And for them to stand in solidarity with the clownery, buffoonery, and need I say fuckery of the Democrats, childish, immature behavior yesterday before the whole world. Let me start out by giving you a synopsis of what Donald J. Trump came to do, is to give the State of the Union, which is, I guess, to give the citizens a synopsis of what's going on in the government, the accomplishments, and what's being worked on now and for the future. And he started out listing some of the accomplishments of the government there. Starting with the illegal border crossings are down, way down. I believe I said this last week. Recently they had less than 300 people trying to cross that border. Can you imagine? 300 people when it used to be thousands a day under the previous president, Joe Biden, who I believe, yes, the worst. I got to rank him as the worst president in history. I almost want to say Andrew, whoever took over for Lincoln after Lincoln got assassinated, I rate him as probably the worst. But I think Biden has him beat. But illegal border crossings are down. And I covered this before. This is the 5th State of the Union that Donald Trump has given. And the Democrats will understand they never stand, just like they did yesterday. They did not stand, neither did they clap for any of the things that Trump said. And Trump rightfully pointed out, if he came up with a cure for cancer, they would not stand, they would not clap, they would not applaud it. And he gave several things, if he cured cancer, if he balanced the federal budget, he could do nothing to satisfy them or even get them to even give him any respect. And I consider them as demons. They've proven themselves now. Trump and the Republican governance has proven that the Democrats are actually living up to their name. They are the Democrats. They are absolute demons. Trump talked about the freezing of federal hiring. Now, that's a good idea. Before you add on more people, you need to freeze and see what do you need all the people that you have. Everybody can't work for the government. And there's a lot of people there that's been working for years and decades that they shouldn't have never been there. They getting paid to do nothing or to do very little. I worked like a damn dog. My career, 40-some years, I never got paid well, as I should have. And many other millions of Americans can say the same thing. They didn't have no political job. But he listed the fact that he's able to freeze hiring. He's backed out of what he considers as unfair treaties and regulations. Treaties that considered unfair to the American people. And regulations. Probably unnecessary, non-productive regulations. I think there's a place for regulations, but they should be reviewed to see whether they are beneficial. So he's backed out of the treaties and reduced regulations. He said he's ended weaponized government, using the government to go after political opponents like they did to Trump. They did it to Trump without a cause, and it was all for nothing. All those millions of dollars they spent trying to get Trump, a waste. And God said, put his hand over Trump and say not only save his physical life, but save his political life, and brought him back to be president again. God did this. So you Democrats and you Democratic demon supporters, God said, damn y'all, Trump is my man. Trump is going to serve as president as the choice of God. So you can take that or let it alone, whether you believe in God or not. He stopped censorship. He's probably going after these companies, Facebook, and hopefully he'll get on YouTube and these other ones about censorship. Because I know several times I've said some things and social media has edited and put me on timeout for stuff I've said. But you know, it's all subjective. They let other stuff go that they shouldn't censor. They should censor, but they don't. So in general, I would say stopping censorship is a good thing. Declaring English as the official language. Now, this is a no-brainer. English should be the official language. Why is you making so much accommodation to cover all these 20, 30 other languages of people who decide to immigrate to this country? I'm in the Philippines. Now, it just so happens that in the Philippines, I believe there's 40 or 50 different dialects here. But English is one of the official languages of the Philippines. They actually teach it in schools here. Some schools here, they teach it. But in America, he's declared English to be the official language. So I think, you know, in dealing with any government, especially dealing with the government, English should be the preferred language. You should be able to go take care of your business with somebody who understands English fluently. So anyway, we'll hash that out. You'll see how that is displayed in the upcoming days as far what that really means on the ground. He ended DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which didn't promote any diversity much, no equity, and no inclusion. It certainly did not benefit black people. It did not benefit, it did not benefit black people. It benefited everyone except black people, white women, gays, lesbian, transgender, Hispanics, illegal aliens. Everyone has been benefited other than black people. But it's like this. Diamond, thanks, Diamond, for joining us. You still coming to the Philippines? Let me know. Be in touch. Like he said, my thing is people don't agree 100% with their own political pricks, but still support them, but won't support Trump, and he's putting America first. Yeah, let me address this. Our black people, the last 60 years, have been chumps for supporting the Democratic Party. Malcolm X said this 60 years ago about the black people support, the black American citizens now, support of the Democratic Party and not getting anything for it and just being made to be a chump. And we have proven now over 60 years, unfortunately, I'm 65 years old, and I've just witnessed the absolute death and destruction of black people in this country. They've basically been eradicated, and genocide has been put on them, especially in Chicago. I've seen it firsthand. Supported these Democrats, and the black caucus, they did nothing. And that includes the ones in Chicago. None of them was worth a damn. The last one that was worth a damn was Gus Savage, Harold Washington, and I would say Jesse Jackson Jr. Jesse Jackson Jr. was a good legislator. I don't know about his brother, though. I expected more out of his brother, but he disappointed me by falling in with the Democrats. Didn't agree with everything that Harold Washington did, but I supported him. I didn't agree with everything Obama did, but I would say I foolishly supported him. He turned out to be a devil. Like I said before, he was involved in the hit and murder of our brother Muammar Gaddafi, who was trying to bring independence and prosperity to Africa. He endorsed baby Hitler for mayor. Rahm Emanuel, he endorsed Hitler, who was actually proven to have committed genocide on black people in Chicago, closing schools, eliminating housing. Horrible. But one thing about, I would like to see the Republicans assuring the Democrats, how things should be done. You got a real man as president. He's a man. He's a masculine man. He's not a sissy. He's not trying to be a transgender. He is a man. And he's operating as a man, as compared to Obama, who I consider him very effeminate and weak and limp. If I had a son, I want him to be like Donald Trump, not like Obama. I want my son to be like Donald J. Trump, showing you what a man, how you may not agree with him and his policies, but he is a man, M-A-N, a man that a real woman respects. A woman could more count on him to protect her. And look, they try to call him a misogynist and enemy of women and other bad names. But look how many women Donald Trump has appointed to his cabinet. Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi. He put a woman on the Supreme Court when he got his first appointment. He has women all in high positions. He's got a woman as his press secretary. So all this stuff about anti-woman. Doesn't look like that to me. He's proven that wrong. Like I say, in the DEI, which was no benefit to black people, he's declared as a country there are only two genders, male and female. Two genders, male and female, and that's as God has intended and as he has stated. And related to that, he's signed the executive order to have men not be able to participate in women's sports. That's ridiculous. You have a man with a penis so involved in women's sports. And he gave several examples of they had these men break records that were in the women's athletics. I think they had a long distance runner, transgender, a man, you might well say. They broke the record by 5 hours. Ridiculous. So Donald Trump is standing up for women, getting men out of women's sports, getting men out of women's bathrooms. I like have him protect my daughter's rights versus the Democrats. Social Security fraud, he's uncovered, him and Doge. They're looking into fraudulent Social Security, people that may be possibly getting fraudulent Social Security checks. So he at least is having Doge and having someone look into that, which I think means a lot. And Doge, of course, is a great accomplishment on its own. The Department of Governmental Efficiency, they're looking into wasteful spending in many areas, I would say all areas of the government. And the president outlines a few examples of the wasteful spending that's going on. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. What the fuck is that? $8 million to promote LGBTQI plus in the African nation that nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. What does that have to do with furthering American citizens' interests? $8 million for making mice transgender. What is that? That is of the devil. And the Democrats were at the top of that. And any Republicans that went along with that and didn't say anything, they're just as evil. But he also went to listing his accomplishments and what they're putting forth. No tax on tips. No tax on Social Security or overtime. I'm just thinking about all the registered nurses. I worked in the medical field for 30-something years. I can imagine my good Filipina friend, shout out to Catherine Mendoza. She's a registered nurse. I imagine she had years where she had $30,000 or $40,000 of overtime. Under this proposal, she would have been able to make $50,000 of overtime and tax-free. So can you know that registered nurses will be at the top of the list, the top of the line, who will support that. Tips. My grandfather, Randolph Emmanuel Manning, God bless his soul, he was a waiter. And I don't know whether he reported all his tips, but he made tips. And that's how he was able to send his children to school. A couple of them went to college and became teachers. A couple of them became teachers. My mother then even ended up being a teacher, really. But he was able to do that on tips. Now, if he was working now, he would not be paying no tax on that. And Social Security, I'm on Social Security now, and many other of you out there. Whatever you're getting, you would like not to have to pay tax on it. So that would be an accomplishment. He talked about the tariffs against Mexico, Canada, China, and dealing with a better tariff, fair trade, advantageous policy toward the United States. Whether that be any country. If they put tariffs on America, you should put tariffs in kind on them. I mean, this is the way a man acts. You know, a man's not going to just continue to bend over, and have the gasoline, not the gas, yeah, the gasoline too, but the Vaseline, where people to just continue to screw you over, like our Democrats. I'm talking about the devil Obama and Biden, and probably to a lesser extent Clinton and others, bent over with the gasoline and the Vaseline, and let other countries just have their way with America. Trump is stopping that bullshit, and I'm proud of him for that. Diamond, he checked Zelensky and let him know time it is. That was disgraceful. Did you see? I saw this fool that disrespected the American president like that. He better be glad I wasn't the president, because I would have had the security guards come in and take this motherfucker out of here right now. Now, I understand that he did ask him to leave. He wouldn't have been asked to leave. He would have been shown. I would have had security drag his ass out on camera. I wish he would have done that to me. I'm telling you. Trump was nice to him. I wouldn't have been nice. Okay? Motherfucker. Anyway. He talked about the new corporate investment that's coming in. Many companies now want to come in and invest in America, building factories, creating some jobs for Americans. That's good to whatever extent that they're coming in, bringing any money, whether it be hundreds, thousands, or millions. It's more than what we got now. He talked about the alien gangs that have been coming in, the illegal alien gangs, and the policies that he's putting in to combat those that are being successful. Thank you for Tom Homan. And even though we've had some people like the Negro Clown, Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, who understands going to be testifying on Capitol Hill. If he's not doing it today, he's doing it soon. And like I say, I hope Pam Bondi has some U.S. Marshals ready to haul his ass to jail, because I hope that they have enough sense to question him and make him answer certain questions. And if he answered the wrong way to incriminate himself, that they have the U.S. Marshals haul that Negro Clown ass to jail. I want to see it. I want to see it. Haul this black ass to jail. And speaking of black, the black caucus Democrats, you need to be ashamed. This is the last straw here of the black Negro clowns and buffoons and puppets that's in the Congress right now. This is the last one. This is the coup de grace. This is the be-all, end-all. This should be the death of. They lived up to their name, the Black Caucus. What am I talking about? Donald Trump highlighted a young black boy who had brain cancer, some type of cancer, years ago, and he underwent treatment for that. And he was a black boy who wanted to be police. He likes police. He has aspirations to be a police in law enforcement. Do you know that President Donald J. Trump, the one that they call a racist, he made this young boy who couldn't have been no more than 10 years old. He made him an honorary law enforcement officer. Believe it was an honorary Secret Service agent. Gave him a badge and everything. And he received several standing ovations. Do you know that none of the Negro clown Democrats stood up for that black boy? None of them stood up. I can understand they hate Trump so bad they didn't want to stand up or clap. But they did not stand up for this black boy. They did not clap for this black boy. I mean, that should be it. I mean, that should be the end. All of the Negro clown Democrats need to be removed from office tomorrow for that disrespect against our black people, our black youth, a black boy. They will not even stand and clap for him. I'm through. I've been through with him. I'm independent. I'm not a Democrat. Long ago, I flipped red. And shout out to Chicago Flip Red, the organization that I consider myself to be a part of. And I plan on connecting with them in person when I go back to Chicago, inshallah. Wow, they would not stand for that black boy. I mean, that was it. That was the end for me. But then he talked about the appointment of RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., with the Department of Health now, and helping. Hopefully, he will be working to remove the toxins from our food supply, from our other items that our American citizens are coming in contact with. RFK Jr. has pledged to work to remove those toxins. And I know that these toxins over the past 40, 50 years have caused cancer. People have died prematurely, gotten cancer, other ailments and diseases because of all these toxins. People have probably suffered infertility. And that's a subject very close to my heart because I wanted more. I have a daughter. Shout out to her, but I wanted to have more children. But I'm sure there's others out there who, as you know, who struggle with fertility. And I'm pretty sure these toxins have had a lot to do with people not being able to conceive. So RFK Jr. is heading the fight to go against these toxins. He also, President Trump talked about going against the transgender and gay indoctrination of children. He gave an example of people at school basically indoctrinating and trying to convince a young child or having them be confused about their gender. And they did this without the knowledge of the parents. That's a shame. But this is the type of thing that the Democrats supported this. And when he said he was trying to outlaw that, again, the Democrats did not stand for that, which means they support it. Lastly, he talked about ending the war in Ukraine, and just ending wars, period. And trying to have Europe be a better partner in trying to combat and stop these wars. So he went through, I listed about over 20 accomplishments. There were more probably, but those are the highlights that have been accomplished since Trump has been in office. Democrats didn't stand, did not applaud for any of them. And worst of all, they did not stand up for that black boy. I'm finished with him. Been finished with him. All black people should be finished with those representatives. When I was running for office, I would not run as a Democrat. That you choosing to be with the losing team right now. So anyway, that was the main thing that's been going on. Let me say, currently still, I believe again this week, Negro Clown Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, and a couple of the other mayors and governors have been called to testify before House Congressional Committee regarding the sanctuary cities. And I'm hoping that they receive some punishment and backlash by their support in proving themselves to be enemies of America and enemies of the American citizens, and certainly enemies of the black American citizens with this illegal alien policy, which has been designed a diabolical plot to replace black people. And even Joe Biden, the demonized, the Democrat devil, Joe Biden, said it out of his mouth. We want to start getting ready to work more with the Hispanics because the blacks are going to be replaced. He said this on a video years ago. He said, start working with the Hispanics because black people are going to be diminished. And he did his part to try to diminish black people with the illegal alien situation. Of course, he probably supported an abortion. That's another way they got rid of black folks. And just any policies like that. So that's going on. So hopefully Tom Homan will now give more cooperation and start to get full access to the prisons and penal institutions. And then also, yes, they need to go in these schools and get these illegals out of there. They need to go in these homeless shelters. I don't care if it's the Catholic charities, I don't care who it is. They should go in there. They ain't got to have guns drawn, but they got to have guns maybe. They don't have to draw them, but they need to go in and get in there and get every damn, I don't care if they get 5 million illegal aliens out of America. I love to see it. So, Doge is still working. They hate Elon Musk so bad. They are glad that they're seeing the Tesla stock is going down. But hey, when it comes to the stock market, what goes down, if it's a good company, it's going to go back up. I had some money to, invest on the side. I'd invest in Tesla because it's going to go back up. But what else is going on in America? They're talking about boycotting Amazon, boycotting Target, boycotting Walmart, and other businesses. And I think they call for a one-day boycott, which means the boycott is already over. So they just didn't buy for that day, so they just went the next day and bought the same stuff that they would have bought previously. You not shopping at some place for a day or two is not going to make a business close down. Now, come back to me when you boycotted them for 90 days. Or when you boycotted them for over a year like they did the Montgomery bus boycott. When you've done that, if you committed like that, then come back and talk to me. Other than that, you just engaging in, this is my term, you are engaging in economic masturbation. Economic masturbation. You may be feeling like you're being satisfied momentarily, but in the long run, what have you benefited? Nothing. So I'm not in there. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for my shipment to come from Amazon this week. So, and I'm not boycotting Amazon. Damn y'all. And I don't know if anybody out there, if you have an opposing opinion or even agreeing opinion, put a comment. You invited to comment here in the chat. You're also invited again to, if you want to join this broadcast, I got the link right there to join the panel. You can give your opinion. I leave it open to you to be able to do that. But I have plenty to work with this week because the State of the Union and the other things that's going on this week. Other thing that's going on is, again, we're going through the aftermath, and I can't wait to get on YouTube and look at some of the YouTube vloggers like Barry Cunningham, Philip Scott, African Diaspora Network, see what commentary they have on this situation about what happened yesterday. I already saw one vlog. I forgot, I think it was Poppin' Politics. They already have a blog about the shameful behavior of the black representatives of the Black Caucus, which is the black dead body, yesterday responding to the black boy. They did not even recognize him. So, you know, that should be it for them. But anyway, I'm going to get ready to leave here again. I thank you all for coming here. I invite you always to like, share, and subscribe. I don't know how many likes I got. You know, sometimes I don't get a lot of views. Sometimes I don't get a lot of likes. That's okay. This is out here. This is my journey. I don't really necessarily call this a vlog. It's me documenting my memories and just the state of the union, the state of the way I see the world right now. And when I put in the description, today is March 5th in America, March 6th here in the Philippines. Again, yesterday, March 5th, was the birthday of a special young lady here that I've gotten to know here in the Val City. Actually, I'm helping to take care of her. She actually had a mishap yesterday, had a little accident, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there for her yesterday, because when she called me, I was in the recording studio recording my vlog, my tribute to Jerry Butler, which you can feel free, be invited to go and check that out on my channel, Geechee Lion Journey. I want you to go watch that. I'm going to put that link right here in the chat. Go check that out. This is a tribute to Jerry Butler. Musical tribute. Lasted about 40 minutes. There's the link. Go to my channel. Subscribe. Listen to that broadcast. Share it. And subscribe to the channel if you will. Certainly share it. Even if you don't care for my politics, if you care for music, share this tribute I did for Jerry Butler. I also did a recent brief tribute for Chris Jasper, the Isley Brothers. I also recently did that. Go check that out. Also, previously I did a tribute for Frankie Beverly, Marvin Gaye, go check, and Isaac Hayes. Go check them out on my channel, Geechee Lion Journey. So again, like, share, and subscribe, and please invite you as always to join me next week for this. Before you do that, if you would like to support us, go to my website, which is CheLionSoul.com. There you can subscribe to my radio station, Geechee Lion Music Radio. You can also download my music. I have about 20 single releases. I have 6 albums I've released. My 6 albums, of course, Memphis Prince, Imperial Soul, Hung Up on My Baby, by Imperial Brown and the Million Seller. I have 2 albums by Che Lion Soul, Wedding Day and Alone Together. And then I have my album by Anwar called Alone at Last. And then I have my album by the Passport Brothers called the Passport Brothers Movement. Go to the website and pick that up. And I greet you. Hopefully come back. Again, come back next week. Share this broadcast. And come back next week for Geechee Lion Journey. And my slogan is, America being a sucker is cool to those enjoying the benefits. America being a sucker is cool to those enjoying the benefits. Praise God. As I greet you in peace during the holy month of Ramadan, to all the Muslims out there, Assalamu alaikum.